Is your organization funded by organizations that make money from food stamps? Do organizations who profit off of food stamps fund your organization or businesses?
I mean, I can't comment to that. Happy to talk about the research that needed.
Does General Mills fund your organization?
I don't have access to that information.
I do. It's right here. They do fund your organization. Do they profit off of food stamps?
Retailers are the major beneficiaries.
Do you think that that's a conflict of interest?
That's where EBT dollars are utilized.
Yes, and they're profiting off of your advocacy. Do you think that that's a conflict of interest? I think most people think that's a conflict of interest. I know you don't want to answer.
Representative Jamie Gill just brought the ultimate receipt to a knife fight. What you just witnessed isn't a simple misunderstanding. It is the exact moment the mask slips off the food stamp industrial complex. The context of this hearing is crystal clear. Representative Brandon Gill, RTX, asked Director of SNAP Policy and Advocacy at the Food Research and Action Center, Gina Plata-Nino, if SNAP recipients should be able to buy soda. We are talking about the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, a system fueled by over $100 billion of your tax dollars annually. But when a supposedly independent advocate is asked point blank about who pays her bills, suddenly the memory fails. She doesn't have access to the information. This video is a masterclass in how politicians hold evasive experts accountable. We are going to break down this entire 5-minute exchange line by line, because it perfectly exposes how corporate profiteering hides behind the moral shield of fighting hunger. Hit subscribe, and let's rewind to see how Representative Gill masterfully set the trap.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for holding this hearing and for your intense and steadfast work on combating waste, fraud, and abuse. We certainly appreciate it. I know taxpayers appreciate it. And thank you to the witnesses for taking the time to be here. Ms. Plata-Nino, did I pronounce that correctly? Plata-Nino? Okay, Plata-Nino. Got a couple questions for you. Should SNAP dollars be spent on sodas?
The purpose of the SNAPS program is to provide families to have food and beverages.
Should it be spent on sugary sodas?
I am happy to talk about hunger and nutrition, but not dictate what Americans should or should not eat or may have access to.
I'm asking if tax dollars should be used to pay for sodas.
Taxpayers' money should be utilized to ensure that individuals have access to the food that they need to survive or may be accessible to them.
Notice the defensive strategy immediately employed by Ms. Plata-Nino. Representative Gill asks a binary, common-sense question. Should taxpayer money buy sugary sodas? Instead of answering, she pivots to a talking point. I won't dictate what Americans eat. This is a classic political dodge. No one is trying to ban Americans from drinking soda. The question is whether taxpayers should foot the bill for it through a program with the word nutrition in its name. By equating the restriction of government funds with dictating diets, she tries to frame Representative Gill as the bad guy. But Gill doesn't let her control the narrative. He refuses to let her conflate survival with junk food.
Do they need sugary sodas to survive?
Some of them do, who do have low blood issues, who may
Is that right?
have kidney issues.
You think they need Coca-Cola to survive? Do you think that's the most appropriate use of our tax dollars?
I am not a physician, but medical records and expertise
You were
do show
just
that
citing
in some
the health
circumstances they
needs,
do.
apparently, of the American people. So do the American people need Coca-Cola to survive?
I did not say that. I said then.
I'm asking you. I'm giving you the opportunity to say yes or no.
I will not answer for individuals and their choices.
You think that there are some Americans who need Coca-Cola to survive? Is that your testimony?
I am happy to talk about the food and nutrition
You just don't
needs
know.
that individuals have.
You just don't know. I think most people can rationally say that you don't need Coca-Cola to survive. Wouldn't you agree?
Stop right there. This is the moment the witness completely loses credibility. When pressed, the director of SNAP policy, actually suggests that people need Coca-Cola to survive due to low blood issues, instead of conceding a basic biological fact that human beings do not require mass-produced sugary carbonated beverages to stay alive. She doubles down. Why? Because the moment she admits soda isn't essential for survival, the entire justification for allowing billions of SNAP dollars to flow to the beverage industry collapses. Representative Gill uses brutal repetition here. He keeps offering her an off-ramp, a chance to align with basic common sense. Instead, she hides behind the phrase, "I am not a physician." You don't need a medical degree to know that Coca-Cola isn't life-saving medicine.
What does SNAP stand for?
It's a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
What's nutritional about Coca-Cola?
I am not a nutritionist. I am a food security expert in ensuring that individuals have the food resources that they need.
This is a common sense question. All of these have been common sense questions. I'm just asking you, is there nutritional value to sugary sodas? It's a yes or no question.
I am not an expert. I would have to look at the dietary guidelines.
You're not an
and look at
expert. I don't think that there's nutritional value to sugary sodas. I think most people in this room would agree with that assessment. But you have no opinion?
I'm here to talk about the food needs and the hunger crisis that individuals here in America are
Are you
facing.
that ideologically dug in that you want our tax dollars paying for sugary sodas, that you will not, in a straightforward way, admit that sugary sodas are not healthful for the American people?
I think that focusing on soda when people are going hungry.
We spend a
is an
lot of our
issue.
tax dollars are spent on soda. That's why I'm asking about it.
This exchange is phenomenal. Representative Gill forces her to say the word nutrition out loud by asking what SNAP stands for. He then immediately asks, what is nutritional about Coca-Cola? Her response, I am not a nutritionist. Think about the sheer absurdity of that statement. You are the director of advocacy for a nutrition program, yet you claim ignorance on whether liquid sugar has nutritional value. She attempts to pivot again by claiming that focusing on soda distracts from people going hungry. But Gill shuts it down with cold, hard reality. We are focusing on soda because a massive percentage of taxpayer money meant to end hunger is actually being funneled into the pockets of junk food manufacturers. It's an ideological blindness designed to protect a very specific revenue stream.
Do you believe that perhaps drinking sodas every day is healthy?
The worst health outcome is hunger. When the individuals don't have the resources.
Do you satiate hunger with Coca-Cola?
I did not say that.
But you said that the worst health outcome is hunger, and I'm asking you about sugary sodas.
And I'm focusing on the nutrition needs and making sure that children have the resources.
Is your
that they need.
organization funded by soft drink makers?
I am not in charge of development, but no.
It's not, okay. Is your organization funded by organizations that make money from food stamps? Do organizations who profit off of food stamps fund your organization or businesses?
I mean, I can't comment to that. Happy to talk about the resources that need it.
Does General Mills fund your organization?
I don't have access to that information.
I do, it's right here. They do fund your organization. Do they profit off of food stamps?
Retailers are the major beneficiaries.
Do you think that
of
that's
the
a conflict
program.
of interest?
That's where EBT dollars are utilized.
Yes, and they're profiting off of your advocacy. Do you think that that's a conflict of interest? I think most people think that's a conflict of interest. I know you don't want to answer. My time is up.
And here's the knockout blow. After spending 5 minutes dodging basic biology, Ms. Plata-Nino is confronted with the ultimate question. Cui bono? Who benefits? When asked if her organization is funded by groups that profit off food stamps, she literally scoffs and says she can't comment. When pressed specifically about mills, like General Mills, she suddenly loses all access to her own organization's funding data, but Representative Gill came prepared. He has the receipts. The defense of soda on SNAP isn't about protecting the poor. It's about protecting the profit margins of the retailers and corporations that fund the very advocacy groups pushing these policies. When she admits that retailers are the major beneficiaries, she accidentally gives away the gain. Taxpayers aren't just feeding the hungry. They are subsidizing the balance sheets of massive grocery chains and junk food conglomerates. When accountability dies in Washington, it's usually because someone is getting paid to look the other way. Representative Gill exposed the glaring conflict of interest at the heart of the modern welfare state. Policies that are billed as compassion are often written by the corporations cashing the checks. What do you think? Should taxpayer dollars continue to fund Coca-Cola through the SNAP program, or is it time to restrict food stamps to actual nutritional food? And does Ms. Gina Plata-Nino's performance give you confidence in the so-called experts running these advocacy groups? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's name the names and demand accountability. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more Americans can see exactly how their tax dollars are being spent.